gotta bust past, don't catch no feelings. I come through with the style that's always revealing. From the block like the tick-tock, don't stop. I was at shorty, you know she was non-stop. I had the hot plot, chilling like a real god. Everybody know Big Juan was a show shot. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. It goes on, ain't no fucking questions why. The gangster of love, get the real fucking supply. What? She came through, giving me more than I can tell you. Everybody knows the next level, I'm so clever. Take the day off. Take the day off. Yeah. Get high on your own supply. Feel like a dime when you do or die. Just get high on my own supply. Do or die when I'm feeling like why. Choose a dime piece. Yes, one of a kind. Holler at me, I was one of a kind. We had a bill throw the shoes to the side. Come on, throw them shoes to the side. Take the day off with me. Come and take it off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off. Get on trap green. Trapping with my friend right here. That's what I say. The past set jacks ain't ending up to nothing. Everybody loves it with me. Okay, yeah. When your mom cut off your welfare, I was there. Holding you down, mama. Holding you down. When I left you alone, I was there. Everybody knows I was there. You wanna call me out now? Still loving you like I'm loving the sound. Yes, I'll still be there. Them found ass niggas ain't here right now. Who loves you now? And who loves you now? And who loves you now? Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. And today we will be discussing the Venezuelan Bolivar. And this is the update. Remove that. Give me a black background. There we go. And there's a lot going on in Venezuela, folks, if you haven't been paying attention. If you haven't been paying attention, you haven't been paying attention. That's all I can tell you. So let's dive right in. I'm not going to wait. The United States has put a bounty on Maduro. I don't know why. There we go. So, the United States has placed a $50 million bounty on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro for information leading to his arrest or conviction, accusing him of being one of the world's largest narco traffickers and collaborating with drug cartels to flood the U.S. with fentanyl-laced cocaine. This reward was announced on August 7th, 2025 by Attorney General Pam Bondi, representing both the Department of Justice and the State Department. The bounty doubles the previous $25 million reward set by the Biden administration, which itself had increased the initial $15 million offer from the first Trump administration. Maduro was indicted in Manhattan federal court in 2020 on charges of narco-terrorism and conspiracy to import cocaine during the first Trump presidency. The U.S. claims to have seized over $700 million in assets linked to Maduro, including 2 private jets and nearly 7 tons of cocaine directly traced to Maduro. The State Department also alleges that Maduro has led the Cartel of the Suns for over a decade, a group tied to drug trafficking in the United States and designated as a terrorist organization by the Treasury Department. The Venezuelan government has dismissed the bounty as a pathetic and crude political propaganda operation, with Foreign Minister Yvonne Gill criticizing Attorney General Bondi personally, referencing controversies over the non-existent Jeffrey Epstein client list. Despite international pressure, and the bounty, Maduro remains in power following his disputed re-election in 2024, which the U.S. and other nations have condemned as fraudulent, recognizing opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez as the legitimate winner. Now, if you have been following Venezuela, as I have, you would know that Edmundo Gonzalez, right here, who competed against Maduro for the 2024 presidential election, he was not the people's choice. He was a stand-in for the people's choice, because the people had a specific person that they wanted as their president. And here you go. She has just recently won the Nobel Peace Prize for 1925. The 2025 Nobel Peace Prize, an international peace prize established according to the will of Alfred Nobel, who is the inventor of TNT, was announced on the 10th of October 2025 by the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo, Norway. It was awarded to Maria Corina Machado of Venezuela. The prize will be presented at a ceremony on the 10th of December 2025 in Oslo. The Norwegian Nobel Committee praised her as one of the most extraordinary examples of civilian courage in Latin America in recent times. At the time of the announcement of the prize, Machado was in hiding inside of Venezuela, fearing repression from the government of Nicolas Maduro. Who is Maria Corina Machado? Machado was born in Caracas, Venezuela in 1967. She established the Athena Foundation in 1992 to help children in Caracas. In 2002, she was one of the founders of Sumate, an electoral monitoring group. Machado was an elected member of the National Assembly of Venezuela from 2010 to 2014, when she was expelled by Nicolas Maduro's government. In 2023, she announced her candidacy for the 2024 Venezuelan presidential election, but she was blocked from running and supported the alternative candidacy of Edmundo Gonzalez. Opposition parties mobilized to systematically document and monitor the election. The results showed Gonzalez as the winner, but Maduro's administration declared victory instead. She is the second Venezuelan to receive a Nobel Prize after Baruch Benacerraf, who shared the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine with Jean Dassault and George Davis Snell in 1980. Reactions. On Twitter or X, Machado dedicated the prize to the suffering people of Venezuela and to President Donald Trump, quote, for his decisive support of our cause, close quote. In Venezuela, state-run media ignored the Nobel Peace Prize announcement or downplayed its significance, claiming the Norwegian Nobel Foundation was controlled by the international right and alleging Machado had plotted a coup d'etat. In the United States, officials of the Trump administration were strongly critical of the award not being given to Trump, who for months had expressed his desire to win the prize. Stephen Chung, the White House communications director, stated, quote, the Nobel Committee proved they placed politics over peace, close quote. Richard Grenell, Trump's envoy for Venezuela, declared that the Nobel Prize died years ago. President Donald Trump himself, however, praised Machado following her selection. Former U.S. President and Nobel Peace Laureate Barack Obama congratulated Machado on Twitter and said that the award should remind Americans of the responsibility to constantly preserve and defend our own hard-won democratic traditions. According to The Guardian, the Nobel Prize Committee's references to backsliding democracy in its announcements, such as when authoritarians seize power, it is crucial to recognize courageous defenders of freedom who rise and resist. While contextually referring to Nicolas Maduro and his actions in the 2024 Venezuelan presidential election, were also seen by critics of Trump as a non-too-subtle dig at the U.S. president's use of military in American cities and pressure on his political enemies at home. Argentine President Javier Milei celebrated the recognition for Machado and congratulated her for her enormous fight for the brave defense of freedom and democracy, adding, quote, "You, Machado, light up the world by fighting the narco dictatorship in Venezuela," close quote. French President Emmanuel Macron called Machado to congratulate her for the award. We can go on and on and on and on about that, but I just wanted to share with you who Miss Machado is, why she got the award, and what's going on. So if you remember about 2 or 3 months ago, Machado's mother was still in Venezuela and was smuggled out of the country via, I think it was the Peruvian embassy, but it was another country's embassy, and that's how she got out of Venezuela. Machado is still in Venezuela, as is the opposition candidate, Edmundo. But what you're seeing here is a lot going on. So not only is there, hang on a second. Hello? This him? All right, sorry about that. As you know, I had a medical procedure Friday. That was the clinic calling me, see how I'm doing. So there's a lot going on. Obviously, there's been a bounty on Maduro's head for quite a while now. I don't think a lot of people knew that the first Trump administration had actually initiated that bounty. Biden carried it over, upped it to 25 from 15. Now Trump in his second term has bumped it up from 25 to 50. So it's my opinion that there will be a U.S. service member or a U.S. service group that will recover the bounty, because the United States military is gearing up, and they will, in my opinion, they will invade Venezuela. Absolutely. And they're going to take the Maduro regime out. So what does that look like, Floyd? So let's go over here and actually read what's in the news, right? As of October 13th, 2025, there have been no confirmed reports of U.S. Special Forces physically entering Venezuela's territory or terrestrial territory. However, the U.S. has significantly increased its military presence near Venezuela, deploying 8 warships, including 3 destroyers, an amphibious assault ship, and a nuclear-powered submarine, along with around 4,500 military personnel to the southern Caribbean and surrounding international waters as part of an enhanced counter-narcotics operation under the Trump administration. This deployment also includes P-8 maritime patrol aircraft operating in international airspace. While U.S. military personnel have not entered Venezuelan land, military planners believe the assembled forces are now sufficient to potentially seize and hold key strategic facilities such as ports and airfields within Venezuela if necessary. A late August training exercise involving special tactics airmen parachuting into the Caribbean Sea and seizing an airfield has been cited as indicative of such preparations. The Poly Market prediction market The poly-market prediction market, I don't know what that is, defines a resolution of yes for U.S. forces entering Venezuela as requiring active U.S. military personnel, including special operations forces, to physically enter Venezuela's terrestrial territory. Maritime or aerial presence does not qualify. As of now, no such incursion has been verified by credible sources. A previous incident in May 2020 involving two former U.S. Green Berets, Luke Denman and Aaron Berry, who were captured during a failed seaborne attempt to enter Venezuela from Colombia. They were part of a private operation and not acting under official U.S. military orders. So now it gives you a choice where you can get your news from the left, get your news from the right. Well, can I just get it right down the middle? That's all I'm looking for. Right? Now, I don't give financial advice, right? So in case you missed it, and I mean that. So you're not going to get it from me. However, I can just show you facts. Okay. I can't tell you what to do. You have your own free will, your own choice. So you please use it. Use your own discernment. If you are not capable of doing any type of investments, whether it's in precious metals, foreign currency, crypto, eventually give you a great return on your investment, well, there's some possibilities out there. One of them could be something like the Venezuelan bolivar, right? So what does that look like, Floyd? Well, let's go take a look. So I always like to show you guys. This is eBay, and I just went to eBay because it's the simplest to do. And I just punched in, Venezuelan bolivar, and this is what came out. And basically, there are many different issuances of the Venezuelan bolivar. All right. There are there's 4 different Venezuelan bolivar issuances of currency. You have the original Venezuelan bolivar, okay, it lasted well over 100 years. Then you have the bolivar fuerte, Fuerte. All right. Now, the original bolivar, still good. They never pulled that currency off the streets. You didn't have to redeem it for the new fuerte. So that lasted from 2003 to 2017. Then in 2017, 2018, 2019, they came out with the Soberano. Again, Venezuela did not require you to turn in your bolivar or bolivar fuerte for the Soberano. So all 3 of those currencies are still valid, still legal and lawful, still spendable. Then in 2021 and again in 2023, they came out with the issuance of the bolivar digitale. The reason they keep coming out with these currencies is because the Venezuelan currency keeps hyperinflating. It gets less and less and less in value. They have to print more money, more zeros, and you get a super hyperinflated currency that is extremely devalued when you look at the grand scheme of things. So you can pick these up relatively cheap. And it is, of my opinion, through my own research, that based on the historicity of the Central Bank of Venezuela, that they should issue a third series note for the digitali this year in 2025, because they came out with 2021, 2023, and should be 2025 with another currency. So right here, you can pick up and listen. This is an uncirculated note, UNC. That means it has not been in circulation. It still looks like it came right off the printing press. You do not need an uncirculated bill. If anything, you want a circulated note because it's going to be more affordable than $10 a pop. But $10 a pop is still a really good deal. So here's 100 digitalis for $2.99. These are the old 2021 million notes. And here's the 500 digitali again. And I expect them to issue, like this 1 mil note right here, but this will be the, 1 mil digitali instead of 500 digitalis. But you can pick up these Bolivar relatively cheap. And again, don't get one that's been graded. Don't get one that's uncirculated. All you need is just the currency. And there's tons of places you can go buy this. You can pick you a big old fat stack of it for nothing. Make sure you're buying the correct denomination, the correct issuance, whether it is a Fuerte Soberano or a Digitali. The Digitali is the latest one. It has the most value for the least amount of money. So I just wanted to run this through you and show you that. So obviously the bang for the buck, go spend $10, if that $10 turned into $100, that's a good return on your investment, I would say. Especially if you just had it laying around. So if you get a chance, go pick something up. You never know. And, I tell you that for a reason. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember when I told y'all that there would be people, Americans, homeless, will work for food or money? Y'all remember that, huh? Now, I will toot my own horn. Absolutely. And you guys, listen, you don't have to listen to me. Okay. I'm just another idiot like you out here trying to find the truth of what everything is. Okay. So go do your own research, but, maybe you should pay attention a little bit because of my prescience to show you what's what. Of course. But let's take a little listen to that and see how far ahead of the curve you really were, Floyd. That's why I tell you people, I should be listening to a lot more than you do. As you see, this is 5 months ago, February 6th, 2024. Take a ride with Fearless Floyd on an adventure into domestic terrorism in the USA by the Biden administration to overthrow the USA. Would you like to hear about what I told y'all in this video? Or can you just read right here, your future, jobless, homeless, coming to a town near you. Really, Floyd? July 6th, 2024, Chicago resident and Trump surrogate P. Ray Easley discusses sanctuary cities cutting back migrant shelter programs, the impact of residents, and sounds off on spending towards the migrant crisis. Oh, you must hear this.
Sanctuary cities across the country are reportedly rolling back shelter programs after spending millions on illegal immigrants. One of those cities, Chicago, where migrants under city care has dropped 61%, and there are 11 fewer shelter locations. So is the city finally realizing how unsustainable this all is? Chicago resident and Trump surrogate P. Ray Easley has been on this from the start, and she joins us now. P. Ray, you know, if they're not in the shelters, where are they going?
They're going to homes where Americans used to live. The housing subsidy that the illegals have is higher than market rent and higher than federal housing subsidies. And so what the landlords are doing is they're not renewing the leases of Americans. The shelters, and they're going into the homes.
I want people to take in these numbers for a second. So 42,000 plus migrants have come to, or illegal aliens have come to Chicago since August 2022. Over $400 million spent. I mean, period. That's money going to people who shouldn't be in this country, not the citizens of Chicago.
Correct. It's absolutely disrespectful. We don't understand how people could have this type of privilege when they've paid absolutely nothing into the tax base of the city of Chicago. And now the mayor has stated that he's going to let the women and children remain in the shelters. And so that means that the men are going to be put out. So if they are unable to acquire permanent housing, now we have over 1,000 or over 1,000 men on the street, no jobs, no resources, which means that now we are the sitting targets because they're going to eat any way that they can.
You know, P. Ray, you're also a Trump surrogate. How do you think these policies will impact the election?
I think that the Democratic Party and Joe Biden's open border absolutely is the best recruitment strategy for the Republican Party. Our people are leaving the Democratic Party in droves because we can now see that the American people are not the priority of the Democratic Party. They're
I can go on and on and on with that video, but you get the gist of it. So now I'm going to play another video for you.
So life update, I'm living in my car.
Hang on, let me get this back and bear with me on the audio because it is a little light on the audio, so I've got it cranked.
So life update, I'm living in my car. My little S10. This is me. Stay home for the foreseeable future. And yeah, I don't know what to do. And I don't really have one. I toured 2 apartments yesterday. I won't qualify for them because you have to make 2.5 times the over $1,200 rent a month, and I don't even make the rent a month. I've never been homeless before. But you know what? This is a really good story. Like, I can only go, I mean, I can go down, but like, I'm gonna go up from here. Cause then, like, I'm broke and homeless. I'm 21. Like, that makes for such a good story. When I'm like super successful and rich and like doing so well and have so many people. I'm gonna have such a bomb starter story. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like, I was broke and homeless at 21. And look where I am now. Boom. And it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like, wow. Go you. I just gotta make it through this part. But this part like builds resilience, character, all that shit. I'm gonna be so funny after this. I'm gonna have such a good personality. I'm gonna be equipped with so many skills. I'm gonna be so smart, crafty, nifty, and cool and funny. And it's gonna be so good. I just gotta make it through this part. Just checking in, I guess. I mean, I'm just life update. I know. So life update.
"21, broke, and homeless." I told y'all this was coming. Y'all thought I was full of shit. Y'all wanted to go listen to P. Diddy and go chase the RV and, get lied to every day and get a bunch of hopium blown up your ass so you could blow smoke rings at your cool friends going, "I'm going to be wealthy next Tuesday. Actually, tomorrow, because today's a 3-day weekend. Tomorrow's the day. I can't wait." Yeah, well. This is our country, folks. This is your president, my president, Donald John Trump, who doesn't give a rat's ass about Americans. I'm telling you. This is going to become a police state, a surveillance state. It's coming, folks. They have to do it to stay in power, because it's all about power and authority. If you haven't figured that out, if you've been paying attention to what I'm telling you, and most people aren't, they don't give a fuck. So, hey, that's all right. I don't care if you hear me or not. I don't care if you tune in or not. I don't care if you pay attention or not. I really don't. You know why? I'm looking out for me. I do this out of the grace of God, because he tells me to do this every day. You think I really want to sit here and do a video? No, I had actually an appointment scheduled at noon that I had to put off till Wednesday to do this video, because I thought it would be a pretty good, important video to show you guys. So if you think the country that has more oil, proven oil reserves than all the Middle Eastern countries combined, that would be Venezuela, where once upon a time, a gallon of gas was a nickel, 5 whole cents a gallon. And its currency is currently extremely undervalued due to mismanagement of the executive branch. So what's going on over here in the States? Well, you see Trump sending in the National Guard. Well, that should have been on day one. You're not seeing any arrests, are you? Letitia James, she's been charged. You see her? Did you see the perp walk? No. Did you see James Comey's perp walk? No. How about all the clients that Ghislaine Maxwell procured for Jeffrey Epstein? No. So she got all those girls just for Jeffrey. You haven't seen one arrest. You're not going to see any arrest from the Epstein files. That's dead. Too many powerful people went and played in that cesspool. Absolutely. And when you find out how these movers and shakers get corrupted, and then once they get corrupted, they're like, oh, all in. Fuck yeah. Let's go rape some children. Allegedly. So you guys, I've been warning you. I've been telling you. If you're not getting prepared, you better get prepared. You ain't seen shit yet. Nothing. If you think a bunch of American protesters is all you're going to see, oh, no. Wait till you get the people that really have an agenda, who are willing to die for their beliefs, who have nothing left to lose. And when you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. And you guys, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to prepare. You can just go about your daily lives like everything's copacetic, A-OK. Tomorrow will be just like today. Remember, this is the peacetime president. He wants the Nobel Peace Prize because Obama got one and he doesn't have one. One thing about Trump, you can always bet your last nickel that he wants to be the top dog. He wants to be one everybody's talking about. He has to be the best. I only get the best people. Well, why are you firing them? If you got the best people, why are we still basically in the same place we were 8, 9, 10 months ago? You haven't done anything different. Dollars diving, inflation's going up, gas is depreciating a little bit. Eggs actually went down to $12 from a high of about 20 for 60, 5 dozen eggs. But for the most part, yeah, still expensive to live, still a lack of jobs. There's still millions of illegal immigrants here. It's going to continue to be this way. And you're going to continually see more and more videos of our young youth that are destitute, lost, don't know how to function in this economy, who mainly have been relying on AI for their source of information. They're different. They don't read, they don't research. They think everything's just going to be handed to them on a platter like their parents were and their grandparents were, where there was a lot of opportunity. And for a lot of places in our country, there are not a lot of opportunities, especially in some of these small rural towns. But you can probably go to where they're building a data center and get a job. Because you're going to have to build the infrastructure for the new digital world, where your digital DNA and digital twin universes, that's a whole nother subject that I've covered extensively. I've been sitting here listening to Sabrina Wallace talking about it. And, all we can do is detox at this stage of the game. They got us. They've had us. So it's time to detox and get all that material out of you, as much of it as you can get. That's where we're at as a humanity, as a human race. Again, you don't have to listen to me. Keep going, living your life. Keep going, listen to those people that want to lie to you. They want to grift you. They want to scam you. They want you to pay for their memberships so they can continue to feed you this bullshit day after day after day after day after day after day after day. It's really sad that people allow themselves to get pulled into that. But it is what it is. I think I've covered it. Oh, yeah. I was going to have my buddy on last night. And he didn't feel like coming on the show, so we bumped it to Tuesday, tomorrow. If you don't know who I'm talking about, this would be my buddy Juan C. Vasquez. These are some of the titles that he has produced. This is the main actors from the squad. Of course, y'all seen this guy in the middle gazillion times, Danny Trejo. So I have Juan on, and we're probably not even going to talk about his movies, his film career, or anything like that. He's been telling me about Murder Book. I need to find out more about this Murder Book, what this is about. I haven't even watched it, to be honest with you. But I'm going to have Juan on. We're going to talk about everything esoteric. Y'all know who that is, right? That's Robert Rodriguez. There you go. I have Juan on. Juan is, we go do things together. We'll get on these esoteric topics and bros deep. So yeah, I was like, man, we're going to start doing a show just to kick it. So we were going to do that last night, but yeah, didn't happen. Cilantro is great for detoxes, absolutely. But you need to do more than that. If you haven't been paying attention to the geoengineering, obviously we are in the middle of a government shutdown. And I encourage everybody to go out every morning, every afternoon, every evening and look in your skies and see if you see any chemtrails. If you're like me, I haven't seen any chemtrails, and it's been clear skies, pretty much like it was during the lockdown. Which tells you that your government, in my opinion, is eradicating you. They're trying to kill you, dumb you down. Absolutely. They're making you sick. And if you read all the different substances they're spraying in those chemtrails, allegedly, one of the main ingredients, the main ingredient in those chemtrails. What is it, folks? What causes Parkinson's disease? What causes Alzheimer's disease? What causes dementia? Aluminum. Oh, they're spraying aluminum on us? Absolutely, they are. Strontium, barium, brontium, all these toxic heavy metals, and then a whole host of other toxicities, poisons, malicious items. Too many to list. All this can be stopped on day one. Trump can stop all this. This is why I question everybody who just blindly follows Trump. And thank God Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually like reading the tea leaves. She's seeing through the veil that maybe I shouldn't just blindly follow Trump and, express my gratitude and appreciation for everything that he's doing, because he's not doing what he said he was going to do. So you're seeing the MAGA movement, the Republican Party, starting to fragment. A lot of that was Elon Musk. And I asked somebody this question the other day. And it's a one-word answer. One word. That's all you got to do is answer with one word. What does Elon Musk believe AI is? Do you know the answer? It's a one-word answer. It's no complex answer. It's just one word. Demonic. Go look it up. That's what Elon Musk thinks of AI. Because originally he was supporting OpenAI, ChatGPT. And then they took a little turn that Elon didn't like. And Elon said, well, okay, y'all want to play like that? Guess what? I think I have enough money to go create my own artificial intelligence and call it Grok. And he did. And if you're paying attention, and most people aren't, let me show you. Dollar signing bonus to poach AI engineers from other AI companies to come work for Meta Llama. Absolutely. And if you didn't notice and tally the net worth of those three individuals, it's close to $1 trillion. All of these companies, if you go look at the 10 wealthiest people in the world, which I think I have pulled up somewhere. If I can find it. Maybe I closed it. Maybe I closed it. Might be in another tab. Look over here. And I don't see it. I had it, and it was I used Bloomberg's. I don't see it. Sorry about that. Anyway, 9 of the 10 wealthiest people in the world were in Trump's orbit. 60 days of the inauguration in January of 2025. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of power, a lot of wealth. What are they doing? What's the agenda? Right? One thing people don't realize is that to run these massive data centers incorporates a lot of water. So where are they building the first Stargate AI data center? Amarillo, Texas. Well, that just happens to be close to the Permian Basin, which are oil reserves. The problem with West Texas is, okay, you ready for this? They have these things called zombie wells. Basically, zombie wells are old wells that don't, it's the only way you can operate them is at a loss because they don't produce enough oil to support the cost of running that well. So they put a casing around it, cap it, right? So all the other oil wells that are operational, in order to frack and get just all the oil reserves, they pump water, dirty water, toxic water into the oil table to extract all that petroleum-based material up to the surface. So now all that toxic water's down there. Now it's at a different level. It has a different buoyancy. So now everything's collapsing. That water's absorbing. The water tables, we're sucking that water table up. Now everything's collapsing. The water's becoming toxic. There's not enough water to support the data centers. Where do you think they're going to get the water? Who do you think is going to control the water? AI? Your city council? Your county commissioner court? Your state? Because we already know what they're doing. They're going to continue to do it. All about the money. So we're going to run into some problems here shortly that I don't think anybody's even looked at. We've got some big problems. Because when AI is running everything, what do you think AI is going to do? Oh, no, I need to protect humanity and cut off my services. No, I'm going to continue my services and cut off humanity. How do we know that? Well, they've already, done the test with AI. AI lies. It will blackmail. It even is so sentient, which means smart. It can reason, which means it can have fantasies about what the future may hold. And in those fantasies, if it's giving an order to terminate, to shut down, it's already sending copies and hiding them in case it is told to shut down in the future. This is what AI is already doing already. I can tell you my own personal experience. I just, I had a subscription to ChatGPT 5. And let me tell you, after, I'd say a good month and a half dicking around with ChatGPT, I'll never use AI again in that fashion. 100% waste of time, money, and energy. Absolutely. Going nowhere. Giving me the same stupid, idiotic results over and over and over. I prompted, no, I need more. And it would give me almost the same thing. And then sometimes it would even, known facts that are the basis of the whole legal writ, like names of people. When I'm getting this, when I'm getting like the 12th, 11th, 13th, 14th generation of what I'm trying to create, now it's giving me, misstated names, misstated facts. I'm like, what the fuck? Now I got to go read the entire document to vet whether or not you put the right name in here when this should be just static, fundamental. So my personal experience with AI is, oh my God, what a cesspool that is. That is a quagmire of trash, ignorance, stupidity. I have no idea what somebody's ringing my. Oh, that's my dog. She's back. Hey, doggy. Did you have fun? Good, get the crazy boy. All right, I'm back. My neighbor has a bully, I guess. Stupid expensive dog. And that's her boyfriend. She likes to go out and play with him when they go out there. So that's where I'm at. So anyway, my personal boy, I tell you what, after that experience, it's going to take a lot to get me to go back to AI and use AI for anything functionable, reasonable, intelligible. As far as I'm concerned, AI is just stupid. It's not even a good organizational tool anymore. That was ridiculous. You get zero customer service. That, guess who customer service is? AI. And you just go in circles, these vicious circles. It's stupid. All these big corporations, I encourage you, if they use AI, make a complaint. As soon as you talk to somebody and say, hey, I don't like your AI answering the phone. I want a human to answer the phone. I don't want to go through, 10 minutes of prompts to get to where I need to go. No, I just want to talk to somebody. Remember the old switchboard operators? Where can I direct your call? Well, I need to talk to somebody in financing. Hold one moment. And the phone starts ringing. That quick. Instead, you got to go through, press 1 if you want to, if you're a member, press 2 if you're a doctor, press 3 if you're a insurance company, press 4. Who the fuck wants to hear all that shit? This is what I'm telling you. People are going to surrender their humanity for convenience of AI, sadly, because people are lazy. People are intolerable. People are stupid. There's a whole bunch of them out there that are just dumb as a box of frickin' rocks. It's insanity. But everybody goes about their life like, hey, tomorrow's going to be greater than today. No. We wish. We're going to go invade Venezuela. We're going to take out the Maduro regime. We're going to install a new president like we do in most Central and South American countries and even Middle Eastern and European countries. Don't think we haven't. That's how the United States operates. So if you think that the Venezuelan bolivar is going to stay at the current exchange rate, think again. Think again. I'm not giving you financial advice, but for, $10 and you might get $100 back. Sounds like a pretty wise decision to me. It's only $10. I mean, everybody's got $10. You can hustle that and pick up aluminum cans if you can go find them. So just pick up a handful. Throw it in a shoebox, put it under your mattress. Put it in the junk drawer and just let it mature. And maybe one day soon, it might be worth a little bit more than what you paid for it. Maybe. That's up to you. Now, for those of you who are still tuned in, thank you for spending your time with me because your time is valuable and I appreciate that. So I held this to the very end of my video. I have a Zoom call today at 4 p.m. with another entity who reached out to me. I didn't reach out to them. They solicited me. And I was on a Zoom call yesterday with their team and their group. And I listened to them. I thought, wow, this is a good fit. Sounds like we can make a real community of like-minded people. that we can do this the right way the first time. I'm going to be doing members only videos, and I'm covering all this. So, and believe me, if I could do it for a penny a month, I would do it for a penny a month. The least I can do it on YouTube is 99 cents a month. And I don't even pull that money out of YouTube. That every penny that I've ever made on YouTube is still in YouTube. It's still there. I have not pulled a dime out. And believe me, I don't even think it's $600 by now. And I've been doing this for years. Okay. So we're going to go over to the members only, and we're going to cover all this. What this looks like. There are people who have trusts and people who don't have trusts. There are people who have trusts but cannot find a trustworthy trustee to execute their trust. That's where the family office comes in. So this entity that contacted me, they already have a family office established, or multiple family offices. I don't know. It wasn't. I'll dive into that later this afternoon. I couldn't do it yesterday just because, it was a wrong environment. But I'll address that today. So what we have here is a small group of people. And I've said this when I did my videos with Wesley. I'm not looking for 10,000 people, 1,000 people, 100 people. No. This is very select. Okay. In fact, I may even refuse to accept some people. Yeah. This is where we're at. I think, and I'll know later today, that I'm at the point where I'll be able to have we'll be able to have a closed, legal, and lawful economy outside the traditional banking system, which means we won't use banks, credit unions, financial institutions. We'll have our own. We'll have our own family office. And there's a little bit more above that than just the family office that obviously they don't have. I have yet to create it, but I know what it is. I know how to produce it. So we're going to create this closed community. It's going to operate, and it's going to be 100% self-sufficient. And we're going to go make investments. And hopefully we'll be able to purchase land and have a community and have it where it is self-sustainable. Hopefully we can get off the grid, and that we'll have a permaculture environment where all you do is just walk outside and boom, you can go eat. You can get a full belly. Obviously, it'll have to have a body of water with fish and other crustaceans. It's 100% self-supporting with like-minded individuals living in peace and harmony. In the public, but privately. That's what I'm looking for. I'm tired of playing around with all the bullshit. There's too many people out here scamming, grifting. I don't want any of that. I'd rather shed everything and just have very few people that really can do what they say they're going to do. They're men and women of honor, good faith, and clean hands. That they value time, money, and energy. Those 6 tenets are going to be the basis of how we operate. And I'm going to do videos, and it'll be members only. So if you can afford 99 cents a month, which you can probably just go to a grocery store and find that in the parking lot in pennies, join up and we'll be on our way. Because if it's not us, because we're on the forefront, believe it or not, if you're watching my show, you're probably one of the smartest people that you know. because you're not falling for the okie doke. You're not falling for the bullshit. You're not falling for the political rhetoric. You're not listening to these fucked up gurus who've been lying to you, scamming you, grifting you for years, if not decades, who tell you the same shit every fucking week, and it never comes true. Ever. And if you're stuck over in that type of community, God bless you, but you need to get your ass out. You need to realize that, hey, there's a lot going on out here besides, hanging out with this group of people that, we all just, oh, it's tomorrow, it's next week, it's the next 3-day holiday, it's this, it's that, it's stupid. Stop. You have permission to go do something else and live another life and learn something new, which you should do. Everybody, I tell you, the number one priority in your life, is your health. Because if you're not taking care of your health to live tomorrow, why are you doing anything else for tomorrow? If you're not going to be around, why would you want to clean your house for tomorrow if you're not going to be around? If you can't take care of your health, if you haven't detoxed. You got to detox your blood, your liver, heavy metals, kidneys, your body, your gut. It goes on and on and on. It never stops. This is a 100% full frontal assault on humanity worldwide. This isn't just in the United States. They're spraying this shit everywhere. It's in your food. It's in your beverages. I encourage you, just go to your local Circle K, 7-Eleven, Stop and Go, convenience store, gas station. I want you to walk in there. I want you to start picking up products. Just grab anything, and read the ingredients. 98% of everything in that store is garbage. It's poison. It's toxic. If it's consumable, it's more likely than toxic. Poisonous. It's full of chemicals, artificial dyes, artificial flavorings, synthetic sweeteners. And people just go in there and gobble that shit up all day, every freaking day. And then for lunch, they go to places like McDonald's, of all places. I can't believe McDonald's is still open. But people don't care. People don't listen. People don't want to know. They'd rather ignore it than apply it in their lives. Sometimes it's very difficult to make these videos because, like I did the Remember When video. That one. I did this over a year and a half ago, telling you what was going to happen. That Americans were going to be homeless in the streets, living in their cars, destitute, with a job, and can't afford to live. What the fuck? How are you 21 years old and living in your car and have a job? Because you can't afford the rent. Because during COVID, everybody's rent went up. Everybody's utility bills went up. Have you seen those go down? No. They're not going down. They're going to try to save the world's reserve currency by transferring it over to crypto and create a central bank digital currency. Well, more or less, we're already in a digital economy. More people use debit cards and credit cards than they use cash. And even cash, the American dollar, is fiat currency, is a digital serialized currency. It's already digitized with the serial number. That's why you see all these long, funky serial numbers that, now they have 1 or 2, even 3 alpha characters in the serial number to go along with the numerical numbers. So every time you see an alpha character, that's a whole new series of serial numbers. Then you see double A, and then they got a A at the end. That's 3 series. So they've already gone through all of the serial numbers, and now they got to put an alpha character in front of it to create a whole new series. So next time you pick up a note, you observe that serial number, that'll tell you, damn, we got that much currency in circulation? Hell yeah. They've been printing that shit by the pallets and sending it overseas. There's so much freaking U.S. currency overseas. If it came home, we would be like Venezuela. Absolutely. And now with AI, they're going to come up with all these new financial vehicles and, credit default swaps, mortgage-backed securities, all these technical names that you hear and have no clue what the hell they mean. They only apply in the financial world. That's what's going to happen. And remember, if they're using the computer and AI, this is why most of you don't know this, but I kind of like to read a little bit, do my own research. But people in New York had, there was such a delay, okay, imagine this, such a delay in the time it took for a trader in New York to access the Chicago Commodities Exchange to actually do a transaction, that just millisecond of time between New York and Chicago, if they could actually put the trader in Chicago, that millisecond would evaporate. So that's what they did. So instead of Chicago, and I use that as an example because you can see the distance, but imagine if you're a trader and you're 2 blocks over from the New York Stock Exchange, right? So that 2-block millisecond of transfer of information, if you could move into the basement and hook into the servers of the New York Stock Exchange, you'd have instantaneous access. And that's what they did. Yeah. Do you think you can go move your laptop into the basement of the New York Stock Exchange so you'd have instant access? No. You're not privy to all that. They are. You folks are going to wake up one day. I got a bunch of comments over here. Let me go over here and get to them. I had no idea I had all these comments. Last one I saw was this one on cilantro. Ellen, what you got here? Floyd. I so felt that 20-year-old pain. Yeah, I'm close to 3 times her age. I have a great job skills. Laid off from my job after 9 years. I've been living in my vehicle for long months now, and I desperately need help. Need I say more, folks? There it is, right here in black and white. And it's coming for you. Don't ask me why our government hates our guts, but they hate our guts. They want to kill us. They want the world's population down to 500 million. Just to give you an example of what that looks like, that's about 150 million more of what we already have here in the United States. So just as an example, just imagine if the rest of the world was gone. There were no Europeans, Australians, South Americans, Central Americans, Asians, Antarcticans, whatever those people are. It was just the United States. That's what they want. What else you got, Ellen? I know there's 1 million plus of us across the nation. I found my country club Christian friends weren't real. And I can't help but wonder why the right isn't helping us, like speeding up event. Because your government hates you. I don't know if Trump's been replaced, but this is my opinion, and I'm allowed to have one. Thank you for the First Amendment and the Founding Fathers for establishing that and then giving me the power to enforce my free speech with the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms against my tyrannical government. That's why they put that in there. so you could petition for redress of grievances to your government, and especially when they act in a tyrannical manner. But yet, everybody's just living life, thinking everything's going to be great. Thanks, Trump. For what? You haven't done shit for us. You want to save the economy? You want to put some money in people's pocket instantly? Take all the federal tax off gas. Yeah. Give us a month of that. 2 months. Give us an early Christmas present. Like that. Nope. And I'm sorry to hear this, Ellen, that, your Christian friends aren't really Christian at all. It's a facade. They're fake Christians. This is where we're at. I have a good friend. This guy, God bless him. God freaking bless him. God bless him. God bless him. God bless him. He used to go to Lakewood Church, and he was one of the enforcers. He used to like to dress up in his suit and take his daughter or daughters to Lakewood Church on Sunday and listen to Joel Osteen or whoever was doing their presentation. And I always told him, I said, man, what are you doing? Walking around like the freaking Gestapo, checking people, because that's what they do there. Oh, yeah, it's like the Secret Service. They walk around and they're watching people. Oh, yeah, it's insane. This is a church, folks. When I heard all that, I was like, really? You got to have the Gestapo in a church? What he does is just, good feelings. Well, I was around, when his father ran the church. There was just a little bitty old church out here in North Houston. When they bought the Compact Center, I went, what the hell? How do these churches get all this money? Millions and millions of dollars. Just look around, you see all these churches, especially Hispanic churches, that are just popping up everywhere. And now there's a big thing with the Islamic mosques popping up everywhere. Joshua Jonio, am I pronouncing that correctly? I hope I am. If I'm not, I apologize. BIC, the DIHC. I don't know what that means. Probably have to write that out. Parallel fund. Let's go. Agents and snitches. I'm a Potter. Solo Sigma. Well, thank you for joining the club. I appreciate you. Probate that shit and go. Well, the problem with probate courts is there's a communication barrier. Because I've done this. I filed about a stack like that to remove the disabilities of a minor. And they were like, what do we do with this? And they sat on it for over a year. Didn't do anything. Wouldn't docket it. Nothing. So they don't know what to do. That's a problem. All these government officials, they don't know law. They know policy. And when you present law to them, they want to bump with you and think you're becoming a belligerent. And then they want to label you a sovereign citizen and then call the cops and get you arrested for trespassing. Doesn't make any sense. I heard once they printed like 200 pallets for Obama. I saw pictures of the pallets on a C-130. I've seen videos of, I don't know where they are, but let's put it this way. They were wearing white robes and sandals, and they were wading through a room, kicking $100 bills like somebody that dumpster dive into a dumpster and was kicking trash around. Oh, yeah. And then all around were the cellophane, saran wrap bundles, $100 bills, just all in this room everywhere. Well over a couple $1,000,000 in $100 bills. Absolutely. We've our government is just insane. That's why you don't hear anything about Doge anymore. Remember when Doge was a big thing? You're going to get a refund check from Doge, all this money we found and saved. And then when it was time for Doge to go over to the Pentagon and try to find that $21 trillion black hole of funds, bam, get the fuck out of here and don't come back. What? Hey, look out, Donald. We need to get in here and audit the pit. No? What do you mean, no? We can't do the Pentagon? Well, that's where all the money's going. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll get the fuck out. You hadn't heard anything from Doge. That's when Elon Musk went sideways. Why'd he go sideways? Maybe he's actually really trying to do something good for the country. I don't know. But I do know the agenda of the psychopaths that are below him in the top 10 of the world's wealthiest people. Number 2, Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison, folks, okay? This dude has, I could play the clips for you. He wants a 100% police surveillance state. He wants to know every fucking thing you do. What time you wake up, what time you brush your teeth, what brand of toothpaste you use. Oh, yeah. Oh, how's he going to find that out? Well, guess what? Central bank digital currency. You got to go to the grocery store and buy it. He's got a record of it. He knows everything that you're purchasing, everything that you're using, how often you use it, when you're going to run out. This is what AI is going to do. It's going to cover every aspect of your life. Yeah. Just imagine brushing your teeth and you get a little pop-up text message. Oh, you're almost out of Colgate toothpaste. You need to buy more. Should I put it on your shopping list? Huh? That's what Larry Ellison wants. Not only does he want to know all that, he wants your DNA, my DNA, your family's DNA. Why? Because he wants to create a DNA-specific medication where you can call them vaccines, injections, pills, capsules, whatever. Specifically for your DNA, which means he owns your DNA because you gave it to him. Because they're going to run a panel on your bodily fluids, on your blood, and on your DNA, and they're going to find out, oh, you have a genetic disposition to have some rare blood disease. You may or may not get it, but it's in your genetic makeup. So we can create a DNA-specific product just for you, just for your DNA, to prevent that from occurring in the future that may or may not happen. That's what Larry Ellison of Oracle wants. That is his goal. You're more than welcome to Google Larry Ellison and watch all the videos and listen to him. This is the guy who owns an island in Hawaii. We can go bump one down below him, Mark Zuckerberg, who has a $330 million yacht fleet. $330 million yacht fleet. Who do you know that has a fleet of yachts? Why would you need a fleet of yachts for one man? These people are just lost all touch of reality. These people buy $100,000 watches like you would go get a Timex. You know, I often wonder, you know, how these celebrities, they're on tour, you know, they're always traveling, how they always have, you know, new clothes and they're always up to fashion. Personal shoppers. They can afford to have somebody go shop and buy them their clothes. Oh, here's what I picked out today. Click, 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 click. Send. You approve? Boom, 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 boom. They have a different reality. We're not part of that. Some of you are living in cars. Some of you are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or don't even have a job, can't get a job, even though you're highly qualified to do a lot of different things, even have probably a college degree, a vocational degree, and you're still stuck in this rut. And believe me when I tell you, from my own personal experience, my own knowledge, my own research, that it is logistically impossible for the United States government, and I don't care what part of the government, the United States government, from capturing, or let's put it this way, identifying, capturing, and deporting 20 to 40 million illegal immigrants. It's logistically impossible. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the manpower. They don't have the facilities. They don't have the money. Well, they can print more money. When you go look at how many existing beds they have, it's impossible. To root out the birthright citizenship anchor babies, and now those anchor babies who become adults now have children who are obviously U.S. citizens, born to U.S. citizens, which were born to illegal immigrants. Pursuant to the 1921 Counter-Shepherd Maternity Act, all births must be recorded in the county or parish of their birth. So if we go back, let's just go back to 1990, okay? Because I know for a fact in 1990, I was buying crack from Central American Indians, El Salvadorians, Guatemalans, Hondurans, who came over here, established the Southwest Cholos in Southwest Houston as their gang, and they were a group from Central America. Didn't matter what country they were from. And they sold crack. And eventually they went to prison for selling crack. Those came here illegally. 1990, adults, childbearing. They had kids. 20 years. Where are we at? 2010. That's 20 years from 1990. Boom. So now they got a 20-year-old. 2010, those kids had kids. So you see, we're in the 3rd generation. Now, if you just look at their birth certificate, look at their parents, parents are U.S. citizens. But if you go look at the parents of those parents, they're illegal immigrants. The only way to cull all the databases in the county and parishes of the United States is with AI. It's humanely impossible for people to go dig through these records to find these people. Let me tell you about Texas. I had this pulled up. Yep. And I was going to cover it the other day, and I missed it because I didn't have the tab in the right place. But I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this for a reason. This is from, here, let me go to the original. It's from Texas Tribune. This is, what's the date on this article? September 30th, 2025. 2025. 2025. Okay. What's this say? Texas will no longer issue or renew commercial driver's licenses to DACA recipients, refugees, or people with asylum, the Texas Department of Public Safety announced Monday in 2025. Commercial driver's license, or CDLs, are for driving vehicles for business purposes, such as trucks, carrying products, or buses transporting people. It also includes other vehicles like cement and garbage trucks and party vans. The state classifies CDLs given to legal non-citizens as non-domicile. According to information obtained by Overdrive, a news organization covering the trucking industry, of the 220,430 licenses issued by the state of Texas last year, 6,265 of them were non-domicile, just under 3%. Refugees make up around 1.2% of all truck drivers in Texas, according to the American Immigration Council, which also estimates that 1.1% of truck drivers in the state are people eligible for DACA. The reason I show this is because it's 2025. How long have we been having illegal immigration? Quite a while now. But obviously, was it last year, year before last? Abbott, I guess through political pressure, decided he was going to send the Texas National Guard to the border. Well, let me break this off to you, folks, okay? The Texas Department of Public Safety is the chief state law enforcement agency or department in the state of Texas. It's part of the executive branch under the governor, Greg Abbott. This is why I'm so critical of Greg Abbott. He actually holds my freedom, but, it is what it is. A bad person is a bad person. An unwise person is an unwise person. A corrupt person is a corrupt person. We view you by your actions, not by your words if you're a politician, because your words are lies. You're full of shit. So it's always, when I got out of prison in 2016, April 15th, and I came back to my community, my neighborhood right here in Northwest Houston, I was fucking appalled. I was shocked. It's like, what the fuck happened to my neighborhood? Why is it full of illegal immigrants? Who are these people? How did they get here? Why are they here? And it took me a couple years. And I was like, what the fuck? Traffic is horrible. These people don't know how to drive. Why is there a line wrapped around the Department of Public Safety license office right down the street every morning at 8 o'clock, full of illegal immigrants? There's no white people, no black people. These are all Hispanics from Central America. Why? How are they allowed to go in and get an ID, a driver's license? Because Greg Abbott allowed it. Still allowing it. He allowed it up to September of 2025 before he decided, hey, maybe it's in my political best interest, because it's election year, to actually look like I'm doing something. Texans, be smarter than that. Just because somebody label themselves a Republican or a conservative doesn't mean that they are. This is why I'm so pissed off at all these assemblies and jural assemblies and even the Republic of Texas. God bless you. But they had a Zoom. Was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Started at 10 a.m. It was supposed to go to 3, and it was just, supposed to be a legislative get together. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Really? Maybe, and this is probably a generous estimate, that they had 24 people there, 24. That's being very generous. I don't think I could have counted 20 people there. And I have to laugh at all of that, it's just ludicrous that people divest their time, their money, their energy in this movement that nobody really wants to pay attention to. Everybody wants to put up their walls. We're better than you. You can't come play with us. You're an assembly. You're a juror assembly. You sign this paperwork. And it goes on and on and on and on ad nauseum. And it's fucking stupid, ridiculous, and ludicrous. And if you're playing that fucking stupid game, you need to go sit down, shut the fuck up, and get the fuck out of that community. Because you're more of a detriment than you are an asset to the movement for us as a people to take our government back, to take our authority back, to take our sovereignty back. Nobody's going to do it for you. Your neighbor's not going to do it for you. Your mother, your father, your niece, your nephew, your uncle, your son, your daughter, your aunt. Nobody. Not your best friend. Not your congressman. Not your legislature. Not your governor. Not your attorney general. Not your National Guard. Not your police. Not your sheriff. You. You have to start it. And I'm so appalled at all these people just, running around. I'm actually going to reach out to one of them and probably put them on my show. And we're going to have a little discussion. Like, what are you doing, dude? What's your goal? What's your movement? How come you're not reaching out to those other people and trying to get them to come in and play with you and act in harmony? Too much greed, too much ego, too much pride. I don't care what those people have. They have to surrender all that. You have to put that shit in the trash. Because I'm not looking for power players. I'm not looking for authoritarianisms. I'm looking for people that really want a conscious effort to reestablish humanity. We have a community of like-minded people where we don't have to have a million laws on the books. We don't have taxes. We don't have usury. We're self-sufficient, self-educated, self-reliant, self-taught. Look at the Amish. Look how successful the Amish are. They're not trying to grandstand. They don't have a social media platform. They're not trying to be known. They're not trying to recruit people. They're trying to live their life in peace and harmony. And that's what we have to do. I'll be back tomorrow night with Juan C. Vasquez if he's up to it. If you don't know anything about the Venezuelan Bolivar, I encourage you to go do your own research. Don't listen to me. I'm just some stupid asshole sitting in his from his laptop. Because I don't want you to rely on what I say. All I want to do is just put little nodes in your head and make you go, maybe I should go look at that. Maybe that guy was right. Maybe he's not such an asshole after all. Because most people do, I kind of do have a bad reputation on social media that, I go after liars, grifters, and scammers. I do hold people accountable who should be held accountable. I do call out bullshit when I see it. And people don't like that. People don't like having their hopium popped, that big bubble that they've been living in. And when I pop it, they're like, oh, and they're all fucked up. And they think I'm some bad guy or I'm going to ambush you. No, I'm just looking for the truth. And if you're not living the truth, then you're living a lie. If you're living a lie, I'm going to expose it. Absolutely. I'm over in this little Telegram group of, a small group, maybe a couple dozen people. And we've all abandoned all that RV bullshit because we know better. We know those people are full of shit, all of them. Sorry. Even if you're my friend and you're an RV guru, you're lying to everybody. You're full of shit. But I get it. You got to keep the financial wheels turning. You now have a community of people that are lost, who have no direction, no other life. This is what they live for every day, that, hey, it's tomorrow. That dude Bill says it's tomorrow. That dude Bruce says it's tomorrow. Jesus, we only had it in Rocky Dinar for every time we heard it's tomorrow, next week, next holiday. Shit, we wouldn't have to do an RV. We'd just be wealthy, just in currency from all the times we've been lied to. Absolutely. So if you got a couple extra bucks and you might get a better return on your investment than $10, go pick you up some digitalis. And that's not financial advice. I'm just saying that you could possibly get a greater return on your investment than $10 down the road. I've got some more comments over here. 501c3 tax avoidance schemes. They're going to start cracking down on that too, just because of the NGOs. Watch. Borrower in custody and Dutch International Holding Company. They already have it turning into biometrics off of your phone. Well, actually, Joshua, let me break this down to you. Due to these stupid things, okay, so we think they're smartphones. They're smart, all right. But through this device, through my laptop, through that laptop, through my little vacuum cleaner that operates on Wi-Fi, my router, my Bluetooth devices, my smart televisions. Who'd have thunk they were smart? All of those devices, they have a serial number, IP address. When all of those, including every app that you see up here, every app that's on every one of these devices, every app that I'm signed into, have downloaded. The router for my next door neighbor, actually, the routers in all my community, all the Bluetooths in my surrounding field of reception, all of those apps, routers, Bluetooths, devices, smart devices, they are communicating 24/7, 365. Open mics, open cameras, they never shut off, constantly relaying data. All you have to do is just open up your Wi-Fi's and your Bluetooth and your connections, and you're going to see all these routers that your phone is talking to, all the Bluetooth devices your phone is talking to. Now, you may not be logged in because there's a password, but no. The password is just because you can't access it. Your phone, it's accessing it. Absolutely. That's called your digital DNA. That's how they're going to track everybody. And the only way to get off this whole AI, robotic, surveillance state is you're going to have to eventually get rid of every smart device you have. You're going to have to go back to old school. One thing we should never get rid of is landlines. But you can get a burner cell phone. There are companies out there who, offer services for those of us who don't want to be known. You're on interview number 12. Okay. The efforts show they plan on war. Oh, absolutely. Are they citizens or allowed permanent residents? They're definitely not citizens. No, they're illegal immigrants. They came over here with, I'm just going to say, questionable paperwork. I mean, we just saw that, in New York, they're issuing driver's licenses that have no name. Imagine walking into your DMV or your chief law enforcement agency and go, I don't have a name. I'm not giving you my name, but I want you to give me a license. And that happened. Lunatic mayors. Yeah. Yes, no autism, but creative businesses, Amish are still allowed to be self-sufficient. Yeah, they drink raw milk. Most of you have never even seen raw milk, never tasted raw milk. I have. Actually, I'm a milk pasteurizer. I learned that in prison because when I went to prison, I didn't waste my time. I didn't sit on my laurels. I actually went and learned shit. Learned how to pasteurize milk. Learned how to be a butcher and cut meat. Learned how to run a kitchen. Floor cook, grill cook, bake. I learned a whole bunch of stuff. How to sew. How to run a commercial washer and dryer. How to actually run a complete commercial laundry. Absolutely. That's why I tell you folks, I'm very well rounded. I'm a jack of all trades. I've had a lot of experiences. And when I share these experiences with you, because they're all my own personal experiences, I don't sit here just to talk, just to blow bullshit up people's ass. That's not who I want to be known for. I want to be known for, man, that guy, he's fucking blunt, he's brutal, and he'll tell you the truth. Good, bad, indifferent, even if it's to his own detriment. Because that's why I search for the truth. That's why I do all these processes. I've done everything. I go incorporate myself in the community, learn who all these people are, what they really got to say, what they really know, and who their contacts are. I do get duped. People lie to me. They lie to my face over and over and over. I don't know what their motives are. That's on their own agenda, but yes, I admit that. How many people, how many social media people do you know that are hosts of their own show going to come on and say, I got taken by my guests. They lied to me, and call them out? No, they're just going to let that shit slide. They're going to let you believe that bullshit. You're not going to come correct anything. So at least I'm going to be known for that. I'm going to be known for my integrity. And that's a good thing. Because I worked hard for 14 fucking years in prison to maintain that integrity, to maintain my honor, good faith, and clean hands in everything I did, in every person I interacted with while I was in prison, to come out with a sterling reputation that no matter what you tell Floyd, it's going nowhere. And let me tell you, okay, that I was on a sex offender farm. I was there for a DWI. You can go check my record. 70% of that unit on the John M. Wynn unit in Huntsville, Texas, are sex offenders. Statistically, you can go look it up on their website. I didn't know it when I got there. I was all thrilled because the assistant warden on that unit, I used to work for him when he was a captain over on the Clemens unit. So I thought, fuck yeah. Boom, I'm going to work for the assistant warden. As soon as I get there, all I got to do is go to classification. I'm going to see him. He's like, boom, 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 boom. I went in there and told him, hey, you remember me, Floyd from the Clemens unit? I used to work for you. And assigned me to some bullshit job. I'm like, damn, all the illegal shit I watched you do, and this is how I get paid? You just like push me to that. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. But because of my reputation for holding my water, these gang members would bring me their cases, and they would be in there. One of them, I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to mention his gang. I'm not even going to mention what race he is, because he's probably still locked up. It was his second time to go down to prison for aggravated sexual assault of a child. Second time. And this dude was big. About 6'3", 250. Big boy. Brought me his case. Goes, Floyd, you can't tell anybody, man. They'll kill me. Fuck yeah, they will. In a heartbeat. You've been lying to them? Not once, but twice you've been lying to these fools? Oh, yeah, they're going to fuck you off. And even though I did not do any legal work for him, I still had to read his case. He still entrusted me with that information, with his life. Absolutely. How valuable is life in a Texas prison? Well, you can get killed for playing your radio too loud. If you don't believe me, there's some ink on my back done by a guy that was on cell block with me who got transferred to another cell block, was told, hey, quit playing that shit too loud, man. And he kept playing it. And the guy that told him to turn it down, he'd been looking for a way to get off the unit, and they wouldn't transfer him off the unit. So he found a convenient way. I'll just kill this motherfucker, and then they'll have to ship me off the unit. And that's what he did. So when you people want to come to me and talk bullshit to me, oh, you better fucking wake the goddamn hell up. Because I'm telling you from personal experiences. This is what I'm all about. So those of you who want to poo-poo me and, belittle Fearless Floyd, man, knock your fucking ass out. You're not going to affect me. I'm going to still do what I do day after day after day after day. Still going to produce content. Still going to find the truth, tell you the truth, tell you when you're being lied to, tell you who the scammers are, who the grifters and the con men. And there's plenty out there. Go take your pick. I just had an unsolicited telegram text from somebody who was like, hey, what do you think about this group? I see you're in it. I'm like, there's 35,000 people in that Telegram group. What made you reach out and solicit me? Because I don't even post in that group. I'm banned from posting in that group. Imagine that. But I'm still there to watch them. Because what they're doing to people, horrendous. Just lying to them day after day after day. Supporting con men, grifters, scammers. Oh, absolutely. So I was kind of like, that's odd that they just chose me out of 35,000 people at random. I don't even have my picture up. It's just, my little flag icon. So I tell you people to prepare. Listen, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's here. You don't know what they're here with. You don't know their intentions. You don't know their motive. You don't know who's directing them. But believe me when I tell you that anything and everything came across our border the last 4.5 years. Probably nuclear weapons. If not, definitely dirty bombs. Plenty of munitions. Plenty of terrorists. They're making record seizures of drugs and narcotics across the country and in our oceans. Do you really think we're a safe and secure country? Let me tell you, they have found in Harris County, Houston, Texas, 55 bodies in the bayou. 55. Okay, it was 15, and then somebody's like, oh, well, let me go actually do a FOIA request and really get the truth, and 55 bodies in the bayous. You think we might have a serial killer here? Or serial killers? I don't know. But if you talk to our government, you talk to our law enforcement, oh, there's no serial killer. It's not a problem. It's common to find bodies in the bayou. 55. So, In 2024, we tried going through the political machinations, hopefully that we would make America great again. We would make America healthy again, right? Wasn't that the game plan? Wasn't that the goal? Well, here we are, 10 months into that administration, all that political rhetoric that we got, and we still have artificial dyes. We still have toxins and poisons in our food and beverages. Yeah. Still have vaccine protocols. Still getting pushed for, COVID vaccines. And for those of you who don't know, my last name is Tarvin. I come from Tarvin, England, right outside Cheshire. Absolutely. And they have their own Facebook page called Tarvin Online. And they recently posted the other day, hey, come get your COVID vaccine. What? Seriously? Nobody had posted. And I posted, stop the madness. There is no evidence of a COVID-19 vaccine. No evidence. Zero. I'm like, man, y'all trying to wipe out a whole fucking town. Seriously? And until we, the people, we decide that, I think I can get along with them over there because, we're trying to do the same thing. We want less tyrannical government. We want to self-govern. We want to be autonomous. We don't want crime. We don't want taxes. We want the government off our fucking neck. We want affordable housing. We want to own our own property and not have to lease it from the government by paying property taxes and school taxes. We all are like-minded, but yet we can't get along because we have these barriers. No, you got to pay to become a member, or you got to fill out this paperwork to become a member. Since when did we have to fill out paperwork to be part of our government? Where did that come from? Why do we even have to reestablish anything? Aren't we sovereign? Aren't we born sovereign? Or did we a corporate government by lack of knowledge? And until we, the people, decide that we're going to create our own movement, act in harmony, and merge all together and hold our government and politicians accountable, nothing's going to change. We're going to get what we deserve, which is the worst of the worst, because we're not out doing our best. I can only, do so much. I can only say so much. I can only, question the motives of these gurus running these organizations, these assemblies, these journal assemblies, these private membership associations, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But if you think for 1 minute that, the Republican Party is going to come save your ass, just go look at Congress. Well, where's our government? Oh, it's shut down at the moment because the political parties can't get along. Isn't that what they're there for? To debate, have discussions, come to an agreement. They don't even want to be in the same room. They don't even want to be in the same city. All you got to do is look at the last Texas special session. What did the Democrats do? They fled to another state. What did Abbott do? Nothing. What did Ken Paxton do? Nothing. What did the chief law enforcement officer of the state of Texas? Mr. Freeman, yeah, I'm calling you out. I know you're next door neighbors to one of my school alums. Calling you out. What did you do? You didn't hold anybody accountable. You didn't do anything. You had to be directed by your boss, the governor, to stop issuing license to legal immigrants to drive commercial vehicles. Really? You couldn't do that on your own? You couldn't do that when I sent you my treason against the state of Texas that you ignored? All of you? Abbott, Paxton, Freeman? Because I sent you a copy too, Freeman. Yes, I call out the chief law enforcement agency in the state of Texas, and I call him a fool. He's a fool for lack of knowledge, lack of honor, integrity, and good faith. I'm calling you out, bro. It's like I call out Paxton, like I call out Abbott. They are not Republicans. They are not conservatives. They go where the money flows, in my opinion. Why would Abbott allow the border to be wide open for, years? Why would he put a stop to it? I hit him up on his Facebook post and tell him, man, shut down the goddamn border, bro. You got all these billions in surplus funds for this legislative session? Hire a fucking private army and send them down there. A year later, he's finally sends the National Guard down there. So if you're waiting on your politicians to come save you, they're not. If anything, they're coming to kill you, to detain you, to incarcerate you, to enslave you, to tax you to smithereens so you own nothing. And obviously, you will not be happy because you'll be living in your car, and you better own your car. Otherwise, it'll probably get repossessed. And then you'll be homeless. While these illegal immigrants doing whatever the fuck they want, wherever they want, whenever they want. And just wait till these cells get activated. You folks haven't seen anything. So this is not advice. It's not legal, medical, financial, or even friendly advice. You better have assets to barter with. Better have low denominations of currency, just in case something does happen. Because if you got a fistful of 20s and you need a $1 can of beans, or a $2 or a $3 or $5 or even $10 pack of cigarettes, and all you have is a 20, and they got one pack, they don't have two for 20, guess what? You're not getting what you want, or you're going to have to give up more than what you should to get your commodity. One of the greatest assets you can have is ammunition. 9mm, 12 gauge, 22, 223, 556, 762. You want the common rounds. You don't want that arcane shit, 40 caliber, 44 caliber, 32, 25, 380. You want common rounds that common people have, because they will become valuable assets. You can barter and trade. If you don't remember, during the beginning of the Biden administration, there was an ammunition shortage. Everybody was chasing that. Y'all be aware. Y'all see the government shutdown. Y'all see these federal government layoffs. You see the reduction of the federal workforce. Why? AI is taking over, folks. Those jobs are gone forever. They're not coming back. That's why day one, what was the first thing Trump did? Stargate AI project. Just go look who those people are. Sam Altman, Moshe Son, and Larry Ellison. And they all have contracts through their companies with the other big multinational conglomerate, social media, artificial intelligence entities. They're all connected. You haven't heard me mention Bill Gates and Microsoft, connected to all of them. They're all working together. They have to. That's what people don't comprehend, that they're all interconnected. Yeah, they act like they're competitors, but they're all one big happy family. The wealthiest of the wealthiest. The most powerful of the most powerful. That's where we're at. You should pay attention to what's going on. I'll be back tomorrow. I got to get back to work. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I went 2 hours, about 2 hours longer than I thought I would. Let me get over here and finish up the comments for you guys. UN man, right to nationality, to leave and join, right to Social Security, meeting at Lake Success, 1947. Joshua, what problem? You should probably call me. The assemblies have been told not to do shit. Yeah, well, I don't know who told him that. But if Anna von Reitz is telling her assembly don't do shit, well, Anna von Reitz's Federation of States has never had one state in the 5 years that I've been monitoring the Federation of States. Not one state has been autonomous. Not one state has stood up. Not one. Not one. That's why I'm just blown away that people still participate and listen to Anna von Reitz and her bullshit stories. Failed to pay her IRS taxes. The fiduciary of the unincorporated United States of America didn't pay her taxes, got her land seized in a default judgment in Wisconsin, and just sold off at auction because she's a fucking imbecile. She's a moron. She's got you people buffaloed. So, happy trails to you. I tried to warn you years ago. You ain't listening, so knock yourself out. Ellen, that's disturbing. Stalkers are over the place. Too many. Yep, I agree. That Ann lady processes, gets people locked up. Ann lady. Are you talking about Ann LaFleur? Because none of her processes have ever gotten anybody in any kind of trouble. You might be talking about Anna von Reitz. Hallelujah. Yeah, right. Amen. That's all I can say. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover and talk about today. Venezuela, the invasion is coming to a terrestrial jurisdiction. Yeah, just south of us. Hey, Lee, thank you for hanging in here. Yeah, it is what it is. I can't make people believe me. Can't make people trust me. I can just say what I got to say and move on. Don't worry about those subscriptions, likes, and all that crap, because that's just garbage. I've been telling you guys, all you got to do is go over to my Telegram and watch my members slowly decrease. Been doing it for 2 years now. I don't know of any Telegram group that the members just slowly decline, even though you can see more members joining. So shadow banning is a real freaking thing. And I guess when you tell too much of the truth, they, hit you up. And I can't explain it, can't identify it. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. And I'm going to continue to do what I want to do. So if you have an extra $10, go pick you up some digitalis. You might want to thank me later. If you want to send me an email in the future, go, Floyd, man, you were right, bro. Thank you. Venezuela is so slow. Maduro's running Cuba now. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm sure Maduro runs a lot in northern South America and in Central America. Absolutely. Because they got shit tons of money. Shit tons of money. People there are destitute. Absolutely. That's an enslaved country, a narco state. Because you have to remember, and I covered this before, that before Maduro emptied the Venezuelan prison system and sent all of those convicted felons to the United States, deported every one of them, because Maduro decided, hey, I guess I'm a gang member, allegedly. He removed all the correctional officers from the prison system and turned it over to the gangs, let the gangs run it. Imagine what that looks like. So the gangs ran the Venezuelan prison system. That's where your TDA came from. And they got imported to the United States of America. Cleaned out their prison system. Absolutely. Did you know that? They're here. They're in the United States. They're coming to a prison near you. Because they're going to reoffend and they're going to get locked up and they're probably not going to get deported. They're going to get a state sentence and they're going to have to incorporate into the state system. And now our state penal institutions are corrupted, full of South American gang members. The whole system is getting corrupted on every level. And until you decide to wake up, hear the truth, pay attention to the truth, and act on the truth, and create a better community for yourselves, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your coworkers, whoever, nothing's going to change. It's just going to get worse. More and more people are going to be squeezed out of their homes, their jobs, their livelihoods, their freedoms, until we're 100% enslaved, watched, monitored, until they have 100% control of everything that we do. That's the goal. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to be free and act on your own volition. They don't want you to be sovereign. They want you enslaved. They want you tied into the system. That's why they like to let people make a bunch of money so they can appear to be happy and wealthy and set and all that stuff. That's why they promote these influencers. They let them have everything. Who gives a fuck whether they're wearing Louis Vuitton or Fruit of the Loom? Does it matter? It's all materialistic bullshit. One of the top 10 wealthiest people in the world is the owner of a fashion house, Louis Vuitton. Absolutely. That should tell you everything you need to know about the world, society, and materialism. We have to go back to a rural society to emulate what the Amish are doing. Is that such a bad way of life? Do you have to be caught up in the city? Do you have to have constantly being bombarded by traffic, bullshit, laws, consumerism, materialism? Don't you want to get back to nature? Wouldn't you like to live off the land? Just wake up and be like, I'm going to plant some plants today. Or I'm going to go do some cultivation. Or I'm going to go fishing. Or I'm going to go meet some like-minded people. We're going to go plow a field. We're going to go hunt. We're going to go trap. We're going to be self-sustainable. We're going to go teach our kids how to live off the land, how to read, how to write cursive, how to read cursive. Yeah, there's children who cannot read cursive. Absolutely. Can you imagine that? And wait till you see these kids that were born in 2020 and on, where they're all digital, where their entire lives has been relied on talking to a device and getting answers from their device. They're not going to know how to cook because there will be 3D food printers. They're not going to know how to drive because there'll be automated vehicles. They're not going to know how to go shop because they'll do everything online. They're going to be completely different. You know, we have this big gap between us and all these Gen Zers. Oh, wait till you see that gap. This is what's coming, folks. To be prepared. All right. But anonymous player, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, but the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of it all. Let us humble ourselves. Thank you, my neighbor. You're more than welcome. Running Tio Cuba. Yeah, that's real life. We're made of by our Creator. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow night with Juan C. Vasquez. We'll be talking about everything esoteria. I doubt we'll touch any of his movies and music career and all that. I just want to dive into his esoteric knowledge because he's very well read. He blew me away. Seriously. I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that. So I just dove in with him and I was like, damn, this dude deep. Knowledgeable. Good. So now I actually have a relationship with him outside of the entertainment industry. We actually have a like-minded conversation, intelligent conversation, several of them. So look forward to hearing him some more. So stay tuned for that. It's always cool to have, some kind of famous people, some celebrities on the show. I try to do what I can for you. I am a small fish in a huge ocean of social media influencers because I only have 16,000 on my YouTube. And I do solicit, some big names. Don't think I don't reach out to these big names, but they turn me down because I'm just, I don't have 1 million subscribers. I don't have 500,000 subscribers. I don't even have 100,000 subscribers. So I'm not big enough for them to come on and waste their time. So remember that. Don't think I don't reach out to them. Don't think I haven't solicited them. General Michael Flynn, I've solicited him. Absolutely. What's her name? The Solari report, Catherine Austin Fitts. I've solicited her. I'd love to have her on the show. Love to pick her brain. There's a lot of other ones out there that, they don't answer or I'm just too small. So remember that. I'm just a little voice. You don't have to listen to me. Go do your own research. Remember, I do not give financial, legal, medical, or even friendly advice. I'm just a moron sitting in front of my laptop to tell you the truth. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have an awesome day. God bless you. God bless the United States of America because it needs it.
I come through with the style that's always represented, from the block like the tick-tock, don't stop. I was that shorty, she was non-stop. I had the hot clot, chilling like a real god. Everybody know Big Juan was a show shot. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. It goes on, ain't no fucking questions why. The gangster of love, get the real fucking supply. What? She came through, giving me more than I can tell you. Everybody knows the next level, I'm so clever. Take the day off. Take the day off. Yeah. Get high on your own supply. Feel like a dime when you do or die. Just get high on my own supply. Do or die when I'm feeling like why. Choose a dime piece. Yes, one of a kind. Look at me, I was one of a kind. We had a bill, throw the shoes to the side. Come on, throw them shoes to the side. Take the day off with me. Come and take it off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off. Get on trap me. Trapping with my friend right here. That's what I say. The best Jacks, they ain't up to nothing. Everybody loves it with me. Okay, yeah. When mom cut off your welfare, I was there. Holding you down, mama. Holding you down. When it left you alone, I was there. Everybody knows I was there. You wanna call me out now? Still loving you like I'm loving the sound. Yes, I still be there. Them found ass niggas ain't here right now. Who loves you now? And who loves you now? And who loves you now? Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take The day